A woman hit me with her car. I punched a dent into the hood and nearly myself when I saw a cop on the corner until I saw he was laughing. Reddit, what seemingly situations have worked out well for you? I punched a dent into the hood. I didn't cause a dent. What? Similar story. I was riding my Harley Sportster too fast down the street. I saw the light turn yellow. I thought I can make it, but thought better of it and hit the brakes. Except it was on a patch of oil. My rear tire came out to the side. And I slid to a stop completely sideways. Being sideways, I am facing the street to my left, where a pair of cops are sitting in their cruiser staring at me. I'm thinking, oh, knowing my helmet isn't even street legal. Among other things. The cop in the passenger seat picks up his mic and says, "We'd stop man," giving me a hang loose sign. Thinking back, I believe that if I had made that light, I'd have been going about 60 in a 30 zone. I most likely would have been given a ticket. Either way, I rode away slow and went straight home to change my underoos. This happened when I was driving with a friend down the highway and he got rolled by a highway patrol officer for speeding. My friend was the driver. This was back in high school. And the Leos where we lived were notoriously racist. So he gets pulled over and the conversation goes, "Officer, do you know I pulled you over?" Boy. Friend. "Well, I'm not black. So I must have been speeding." The officer just loses it and laughs uncontrollably for a couple of minutes. He gathers himself and says, "That is the best answer I have ever heard. Slow down. Be safe and have a good day. Full stop." Yup. I was home alone and I had just taken a shower. Knowing that no one else was there, I waltzed out of the shower buck naked with my wiener flopping around. As soon as I walked into the living room, I see that my parents had guests over. Luckily they were looking at my mom, who was sitting opposite to them. My mom's jaw dropped and gave me this look like, "What the are you doing?" I ran to my room and got dressed. That was a close one. I hit a guy with my car. Guy jumped out in front of me at night. Couldn't brake enough in time. If that weren't terrifying enough, a passing car pulled over and a police officer got out. I was absolutely sure I was going to jail. But the officer took a few minutes to talk to the guy I hit, thankfully unharmed, and then talked to me. He took down my details and said that he witnessed the whole event. I was clearly not at fault. If the guy tried to get money out of me saying I'd injured him, he could testify in my defense. Oh. Also, the guy I hit was totally wasted. So the police officer arrested him for public intoxication. Too long, didn't read. Hit guy with car and then got him arrested for it. I bought a fire pit at Home Depot last year after we had a very early snowstorm that caused many branches to fall since leaves were still on the trees. I looked up online my state laws to see if it was legal. Yep. As long as there are no leaves. I did so, and neighbors maybe 3 houses down. My immediate neighbors didn't care and they liked the smell since some of the wood was sugar maple and smelled like maple syrup. Well, one neighbor thought it was appropriate to call the police. He told her to call the fire department. They came in the truck. I was a bit scared for being fined, but they saw me and saw I was all good and left. Not satisfied, she called the fire marshal and got him out around 6 p.m. He was in plain clothes and looked like I was interrupting his dinner. I was like, he's gonna fine me for something. Nope, he saw my fire pit with metal screen and leaves in the garbage can. He said, "You have a safe setup in the middle of my driveway with no houses for 30 feet, and picked a great day, no wind." By this time the neighbor got her fat out to see me get fined. He and I were laughing and he asked, "Is that her?" I said, "Probably." He waved and said, "Don't interrupt my dinner again." Look in her face was priceless. I asked him if he wanted some roasted marshmallows, but he declined. Waking up naturally in the morning. Blind panic sets in since my alarm clock hasn't woken me. Realize it's my day off. Lady ran a stop sign when I was 17 and I boned her rear quarter panel. She tried to leave. I jumped in front of her car, like an idiot. She stopped and I called the cops. Cops came and she lied about pretty much everything. Everything. basically making me out to be a young careless kid who wasn't wearing a seatbelt, speeding, and playing music too loud. Cop bought it all and I was in the. A guy who lives across the street was videoing his kid playing in the leaves and comes running over with his camera. Things turned bad for her rather quickly. She cited for attempting to flee the scene. Cop nickel and dimed her to death. She even got a ticket for not wearing her glasses contacts as was listed on her driver's license. When I was in elementary school, a large man came up to me and told me he had some candy in his car for me. After panicking for a bit, I realized that man was my uncle who was visiting my family and came to pick me up from school. I was playing the invisible rope trick on cars with my friend. Someone called the cops. They showed up and showed us how to do it better, he said. No more today, but that's how you can improve it.